Hi everyone, and welcome again to another episode of the Tacoma Cyclist. I am the Tacoma Cyclist, and with me as always is my sidekick, the Boogeyman. Today we're reviewing this. The Cygolite Hotshot SL. A rear taillight that's designed for commuting and riding at dusk and at dark and early morning times. The taillight itself is designed to be very small and diminutive, yet extremely powerful, and it accomplishes this by using a bright LED cell. The unit, like most rear taillights nowadays, is rechargeable. Instead of having to swap out batteries, you simply use a USB mini charger, which is supplied with the device, but you can also use any one that you've got laying around. You can charge it off a computer, or you can charge it off of any standard 5-volt outlet that's designed for USB charging. The unit uses a 2-watt LED, and it's charged by a lithium-ion battery that is supposedly capable of running for about 200 hours on a single charge. Now, we haven't had the opportunity to test whether or not it's actually going to last for 200 hours on a single charge, but I can tell you that you can run it for quite some time without having to recharge the unit. We've never caught ourselves stranded with this device. I just charge it frequently just to make sure that I'm never caught without a taillight. And in this time of the year, around this area, it's nice to have a taillight, even if it's just a small one, because it gets dark early and it stays dark late in the morning. Now, I will say when I got this unit, I actually got it mid-ride, and it happened to be a wet, soggy ride. And the Boogeyman was tailing me home the entire way, and he was certainly blinded by the taillight the entire way, even though I pulled it out of the package there in the store and mounted it to my bike in the store there. Normally, we would do an unboxing. In this particular case, though, we have already unboxed both of the ones that we have. The Boogeyman and I both have these on our bikes, and we ride with them religiously in this area, especially this time of year, again, when it's a little bit dark most of the time and a little bit soggy all of the time. It's nice to be able to have it on a trail. It's nice to be able to have it on the road. It's nice to be able to have it anywhere. The nice thing about this unit is it's very small and it's very easy to mount. In the package comes the standard mount for your standard size seat post, and it also comes with mounts for smaller seat posts. Both the Boogeyman and I have a 31.8 millimeter seat post as our standard, so we didn't have to mess with any of the packaging. That's going to shrink that down to the smaller size seat posts. And the nice thing about that is, right out of the package, you can mount it within 30 seconds directly with the hardware that comes with it. So the other thing, since we aren't going to unbox it this time, it's a pretty straightforward unboxing. The other thing to look at, though, is the weight. A lot of folks don't want to carry a lot of weight, and frankly, some of the lights that are out there nowadays, even the ones that aren't that powerful, add quite a bit of weight to the bike. So we're going to take a look at the weight real quick and see where it comes in at. My guess is it's going to come in pretty low. Okay, the unit with both of its screws and all of its hardware comes in at a rather featherweight 52 grams. Certainly nothing that's going to weigh you down while you're riding. Mounting the unit to the bike itself is pretty basic. You have a single screw that comes in from the side, and you use that screw to simply tighten down the bracket. It's pretty straightforward, and it makes a nice secure hold. You've got a lot of room here, so if your seat post is slightly oversized, you're good to go. Now, the other thing that you have here is you have another screw on the side, and the great thing about this is it gives you the opportunity to angle the light up or down and lock it into place. Where this comes in handy is the fact that this is a pretty tight beam on this light. So aiming it slightly towards what would be the front of a car, off to the side and slightly out, is going to help you be noticed. Instead of having that broad beam that a lot of red taillights have, which also dissipates the light a great deal, this particular light has a relatively focused beam, so aiming it is going to definitely help you out a great deal. One of the other nice features of this light is that you can remove the light from the casing or from the clip, and this clip right here actually gives you the opportunity to clip it onto, if you have a saddlebag or maybe onto your jersey pocket or anything else that's going to allow you to clip that over. In fact, my first ride home with this, in that nice soggy first ride, I didn't have the time to mount the hardware, so I just put it on my saddlebag that was hanging off the back. There's a little clip on it, put it on there, and it stayed securely. This nice little plastic clip, while it is plastic, it does seal pretty good. You can bounce up and down and it's not going to fall off. Sliding it in is just as easy as doing that. It's nice and secure. The unit itself has two buttons. The first button, of course, is your power button, and that's also your mode selector button. Now you can see there's several different modes available on this. Blinking modes, or instant seizure modes, and your solid modes. Now the other button, you press once, and it changes direction. So in this particular case, for the solid light, I can turn the light up or I can turn it down. At its lowest setting, it's pretty darn low. I don't really know what the use for that would be, but certainly it gives you the option to turn it down. Now, if you're in a different mode, blink mode, pressing that will either speed up the blink, induce seizures even faster, or pressing it again will change it to go slower. Same thing with your fast modes here. You can actually get these to slow down a pretty decent amount. You can also get it to go pretty quick too. Like I said, ultra seizure inducing mode. This is the one I actually particularly like here, because that blink right there is enough to alert drivers pretty well, but at the same time not really bother people behind you and not really tick them off too bad or put them into that seizure mode again. When you're going fast, well, you certainly notice it. It's certainly visible, but again, it's probably enough to annoy. And maybe sometimes that's what you're after, is annoying drivers. They certainly pay attention to you more. And then again, for powering off, you press the button until you see the light dim out like that, and then it's off. So what else is there to say? Like I said, we typically, when we review a product, we like to point out the things that we don't like about it and the things that we do like about it. In this case, if there's anything we don't like about it, it's that it's got a pretty tight, narrow beam. But that is overcome by the fact that you can aim this in any direction, up, down, left, right, which gives you the option to really point it where you need it to be. And I've found that for most cars, you can get their attention pretty easily with this. What do we like about it? Pretty much everything. It's small, it's light, it's cheap. It comes in at about 30 bucks. It's rechargeable and it recharges fast. We've never had a problem with this charging. We've never had a problem with it shutting down mid-ride. It also clips onto anything. The hardware to mount it is pretty straightforward, and the packaging is pretty straightforward. So overall, honestly, nothing really bad to say about this. If you're looking for a taillight, if you want to commute and be a little bit safer and you don't necessarily want to have a big honking red taillight on the back, but you want something that's going to put out a decent amount of light and keep you safe, this is a good choice for you. Highly recommended. They do have a Pro version available as well. I haven't tested that unit out. I do hope to get my hands on it soon, but to be honest with you, if it puts out more light than this, it's probably just going to aggravate drivers more. Maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's a bad thing. But the reality is that for most everyday riders, for most commuters, this is going to do a pretty good job. If you're really not sure, pick up two of them. They're cheap. They'll both fit on your seat post, or one will fit on your seat post and one will fit on your saddlebag, and you're good to go. Thanks again for visiting Tacoma Cyclist, and check back again soon for more reviews. Also, don't forget to hit subscribe and share this with your friends. Thanks. Also, don't forget to hit subscribe. Subscribe? What is that? And don't forget to hit what the? Seriously. Also, don't forget to hit subscribe. All right. I got it right that time.
I thought I heard you say.
No.